I get it, you're staring at that Add to Cart button and wondering if this inflatable golf cage is the kind of thing that will actually help you improve, or if it's just another piece of gear that ends up gathering dust in the garage. You don't want to waste money on a setup that looks good on paper, but falls apart the first time you take a swing. And you're probably also juggling a limited amount of space, a budget, and the desire to actually see results from your practice time. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's walk through exactly what the GoSports commercial-grade inflatable golf simulator enclosure brings to the table, where it shines, and where it might leave you wishing you'd chosen something else. First off, the biggest selling point here is the claim that you don't need a dedicated golf room. That's a relief for anyone living in a suburban home, an apartment with a high ceiling, or even a garage that doubles as a workshop. The enclosure measures 12 by 9 feet when fully inflated, which translates to roughly a 2-car garage width. For most amateur swing speeds, that gives you enough room to step back, swing, and see the ball hit the impact screen without feeling cramped. The engineered for full swing speeds line isn't just marketing fluff. The fabric is reinforced in the front and sides to handle the force of a driver at 110 to 120 miles per hour, meaning you can practice your tee shots without worrying the screen will bow or pop. What really makes it feel usable on a day-to-day basis is the 90-second inflation time. The package comes with an electric pump that plugs into a standard outlet, and you can have the whole cage ready for a round of indoor practice faster than you can finish a quick warm-up routine. In my own test, I pulled the case out of the storage bag, laid the fabric flat, hooked up the pump, and in under a minute the whole structure was standing tall. That speed of setup is a game changer if you're the type who wants to squeeze in a few swings after work and then fold everything away before your family gets home. Compatibility with major launch monitors is another practical strength. If you already own a SkyTrack, OptiShot, or any of the Bluetooth-enabled radar units, you'll find that the enclosure doesn't interfere with the sensor's line of sight. The fabric is designed to be non-reflective, so the monitor can still track ball flight accurately. That means you can pair the inflatable screen with the data you already trust, turning a small bedroom or a section of your garage into a functional simulator without having to invest in a pricey permanent impact screen. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The enclosure is portable, which is fantastic, but that portability comes with a few practical considerations. First, you need a flat surface that's both level and free of sharp objects. A concrete slab or a well-leveled wooden floor works best. Carpet can cause the air chambers to shift, and any protruding nails or screws could puncture the material over time. Second, while the pump is electric, you still need a nearby outlet, which can be a limiting factor in a garage where power strips are already maxed out. The third point is ceiling height. The manufacturer recommends a minimum ceiling clearance of around 10 feet to allow a full swing without the ball hitting the top of the enclosure. If your attic beams sit lower than that, you'll have to adjust your swing or accept that the setup won't accommodate drivers at full speed. Durability is a common concern with inflatables, and the GoSports model tries to address it with double-stitched seams and a thicker PVC coating. In real-world use, that means you can swing a driver, hit a few chip shots, and even practice putting without the screen sagging noticeably after a session. However, the material isn't indestructible. If you're planning to leave it outside for extended periods, wind and UV exposure will degrade the fabric faster than if you keep it indoors. The included storage case helps mitigate that. Roll the cage up, zip it in, and keep it out of the elements when you're done. For occasional indoor practice, the case does the job. For daily outdoor use, you'll likely need to replace the enclosure sooner than you would a permanent wooden or metal frame. Who should buy this? If you're a mid-handicap golfer who already uses a launch monitor at home, and you want a cost-effective way to practice full swings regardless of weather, this is a solid choice. The quick inflate/deflate cycle makes it easy to set up before a rainy evening and pack away when you need the space for something else. It also works well for families with kids who want a real golf feel without a permanent structure. Just pull it out for a weekend tournament and store it back when dinner's ready. The value here comes from the combination of size, compatibility, and convenience, all for a price point that's a fraction of a